Welcome back everyone. Sorry for the long hiatus, but I finally finished my next video, which I'm about to show you guys. Hopefully this makes up for the long delay that it took for me to make another video, but what I have for you is a concrete waterfall, and I also made an accent piece for it. So hopefully you guys like it, and let me show you how I made it. Originally we already had a waterfall that we installed that we purchased at the big box store, but there was just something missing. We wanted the sound of rain. I wanted it to sound like it was trickling from a rainy day, and so I wanted to create another waterfall. I actually created a concrete waterfall out of styrofoam, and I outlayered it with concrete, and what you're about to see is the result of it. Unfortunately, there are two plants in the way, so I'll have to take those out. But right now, let me walk you through how I created this water feature and how I also created this wonderful Torii Gate accent that I installed along with it. Before the video gets any further, I just want to apologize. I know that you probably want to know how I made this waterfall, and the video that I made for it didn't work out, but the easiest and simplest way I can say how I made it is I used that styrofoam as a mold. I wrapped it with drywall netting so that way it'll stick with the concrete, smoothed it out, and it turned out looking like this. So before I pulled those plants out, I wanted to work on making the holes for the reservoir tank. I'm basically using a plastic tub. I'm just going to drill a billion holes in it and put the lid on so that way the holes will act as a drain when I have all the rocks on top of it. So the way this is going to work is I'm using this tub as a reservoir. It's going to collect all the water that I'm going to throw in it along with the water pump that I bought from Amazon. Later you'll see that I was using a really weak pump. I ended up buying a second pump which was way stronger, and it worked out perfectly, as you'll see later in the video. But basically all we're doing is just digging a hole, and we're going to put the reservoir inside and close it, and then we'll put the waterfall in and connect the waterfall to the pump, and we're good to go. Just in case you're wondering how I was able to make the waterfall stand alone on its own, basically I'm using some pressure treated lumber. The bottom part of the lumber has about 2 feet of wood heading down into the ground, which I hammered in that you didn't see in the video, and then the upper portion has a flat base so that way it won't move forward or backwards, and then it's another foot upwards into the waterfall, which the waterfall is hollow, so that way I can just throw it in like as you see right there in the video, and then I just screw it down the back with 2 screws on each side, and it's good to go. Now before I close this up, I also put some plastic liner so that way all the water will be directed back into the reservoir. And just like that, the waterfall is all done. It looks so nice. It was nice to see all that hard work of creating this waterfall, and now it's standing on its own and it's working, it's sounding okay. But yet we did want it more, so I made it stronger with a stronger water pump, and it worked out even better. It sounded perfect, but yet there was still something missing. My wife suggested to throw that art decoration that we have on the fence and to put it right behind it, which was a perfect idea because now we were able to see all the raindrops falling down, and it worked out perfectly. But in my mind I still felt like it was missing something, so I wanted to throw in another art decoration around it, actually above it, and what it turned out to be is this Torii Gate that I created. Let me walk you through how I created this Torii Gate and explain why I wanted to use this as part of an accent feature to this waterfall. So let me show you how I made it, and let's get started. First, what I started doing was just basically squaring off all my 2x4s. I just want to get rid of all those edges, so I just quickly ran them through the table saw and took out all 2x4 edges. Next, we stripped down the 2x4s into 3 usable pieces. And when that's all set, I just give them all a quick miter and then join them together using brad nails and using type-I, type-III. Now that I have both posts all done and all glued up together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out where I'm going to do my first cuts to hold the first beam. And perfect. The holes are done for the first beam, and I gotta say it is just the right size. It's airtight and basically it can hold itself if I wanted to do it just like this. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and also nail these down so that way they won't move and they'll be good to go. And of course I will be using glue. So this is how my patio looks right now, and what I'm going to make is this. Right now I need to make this piece here, so which is going to be this one right here, which is this nice long piece, which will be right there. That's what I'm going to make that. Cover in this part and we'll be good to go. Now that's all done, I'm just going to wipe off the excess glue so that way when it comes time to sanding, it'll be a lot easier. So I just need to finish the end caps of this beam and then as well as knocking out the top part, and we'll be all set. There we go. 2 equal lengths. Nice. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some covers on these so that way I have something to drill in. Alright, now time for a quick dry fit and see where we're at, and that way we can also plan out how we're going to do the top and final piece. Now it's time for the final piece. It's a little bit tricky because I do have to make a curve, but it's not too bad, so it shouldn't be too hard. If I haven't told you about what this Torii Gate means, from what I've read, the Torii Gate is basically a tranquility kind of a gate. Basically everything before the gate, before you walk through it in Japan, when you go through a Torii Gate, it's you with all your busy life and everything that you have, you leave it behind when you walk through that gate, and you walk into the peaceful serenity of the garden that this Torii Gate normally would guard, and that's what it means. And with our garden, the way we look at it is very serene, it's very peaceful, and this was just a perfect piece that I wanted to add on. All my pieces are all cut, ready to go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to just start sanding them down, prep them for paint it, and get ready to go up. There we go. Finally all done with all the cut pieces. Time for some quick sanding, and let's get painting, and then we can start assembling this in the backyard, and we're finally very close to finishing this Torii Gate. This did take me about 2 days, so that'll probably explain why I have a change of clothes in my videos. So yeah, it took me about 2 days to make this. The first half day I did was just basically doing all the assembly pieces and cutting them all out and then assembling them together. Then the second day is when I was able to paint them and sand them and then put them together, as you see in the video. Well, alrighty then. Now it's all done. It's been sanded, it's prepped, and painted. Time to assemble it in the backyard and give my waterfall the accent piece that it's been missing. Almost perfect. Just one more thing. What could that... plants. Let's get some plants in there. Finally, it's all done, and man, I gotta tell you, it looks awesome. Especially having to add the extra lights in the background, so that way the design will stick out when it's backlit. Oh man, it looks amazing. If you guys can only see it in person, you would be amazed with it. I'm glad I made it. It was an awesome project. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you might have learned something. If you didn't, I understand. It's not for everybody, especially the way I made it. It's a crazy way of making things, but it's just the way I did it. It's the way I did it, and it worked out. I like it, my wife likes it, my kids like it. It's all good. Hopefully you guys will continue subscribing to me, and I hope you guys like this video. Please leave a comment down below on what you think about this video, so that way maybe I can make a better video. I am planning to make more videos. I do have other videos to come. I have filmed a few more things, I just haven't got it out. Hopefully it won't take as long as this one did. Just cross your fingers. But yeah, I really thank you guys for watching my videos, and I hope you like it. Till the next time, see you later.